Hi everybody, Hugh here with you. I'm going to be doing a little bit of screen printing, and if it's all right, might just do a little bit of jabbering. It's late here, about 1 o'clock or something in the morning. In Southern Illinois, we were expecting maybe some intense weather. I'm not sure what any other areas got. It was fine here. Some wind and things, so grateful for not having any severe weather, really. So I'm printing a Hooten Hallers shirt here. This is one we've been printing for a number of years. Iconic image of theirs, it's the owl image. I'm going to show it to you here in a moment. And gone through a few screens of this one over the years. I'm trying to remember when it first kind of came out, but it's a fun one. It's a good one. All right, this is just a one color white. Do about 4 passes. Just to give it a good proper opacity without flashing and making all that athletic kind of print. So there we have it. The iconic Hooten Hallers owl image. They've got a lot of great ones over the years. Really grateful to get to print for our friends, the Hooten Hallers. You know, this whole business kind of started sort of accidentally back in 2013. We were, Heather and I, you know, we were working other jobs and stuff, and we met while we were working over at Silkworm. A number of years ago, back in 2003, I think. And so we started, after I went to prison, she sent me a postcard, said keep your chin up, and then over time we started writing and wrote a lot of letters back and forth over that time, and still have them, you know. And so we started printing for our friends the Whistle Pigs back in 2013, and you know, just kind of with the equipment we had at the time, and kind of small, and you know. And then that led to printing for some other folks. We did a number of shirts for Mountain Sprout, Chicago Farmer, a ton of other bands, and then the Hooten Hallers, the Woodbox Gang, played with in other incarnations over in Columbia, Missouri, back before I went to prison. And it was just a fun, interesting coincidence, actually, to reconnect that way. And we've been printing for them ever since, I think about 2014. And so, really a great honor, and just such great people. We go see them every chance we get, and might even do that this weekend. We'll see. You know, early on in printing, especially while I was working another job, I quit that job in 2015. So about 2 years of overlap of doing your own thing, you know, while working a regular 9-to-5 job, which I was doing right out of prison. I'm really grateful for that. A local company in Carbondale manufactured circuit boards. And so was doing that, and we started casually getting into the printing, and became a lot of late nights of working a standard day job, and then printing in the evenings, and often into the wee hours, sometimes all night long. And then we both quit our day jobs in 2015. and been doing it full time since then. So that's 11 years full time, 13 years, I guess, to start with. And it was interesting early on, thinking about the bands out on tour, how I used to be out on tour, you know, even in the van, traveling the world, and that kind of came to an end, and it was all my doing and all my fault. But it was interesting to be still supporting those able to do in that way, and made me feel a part of all of that process, you know. And so really kind of grateful to get to continue doing. And you know, I get to play. I'm very grateful to get to play all the music that I get to do, you know. A couple shows a year with Woodbox Gang, you know, that's the touring band, the one, you know. And then my other group, the People versus DeNeal, and then lately playing with the Hornworms, you know, as a guest, and having a whole 25-piece band or so, playing on some songs, a couple of them that I wrote a long time ago, and a couple that I just wrote, and having a whole horn brass band orchestra playing along to that stuff that you just imagined into your mind, you know, having it come to life like that is very exciting. So I've been really enjoying that lately. But I do want to say the Woodbox Gang is playing Hangar 9 in Carbondale on May 16th. That's our old stomping grounds from way back, you know. And we are re-releasing the double vinyl of our very first album, Trash Can Americana, from 25 years ago. And first vinyl the Woodbox Gang's ever had. And so that is super exciting, and super excited for the show May 16th. And you know, it's interesting. Remember doing that stuff, working on it in my brother's house in El Dorado. Alex would come all the way from, I think he was living in Anna at the time, and then I think he moved into Macanda while we were still doing that, and he'd come all the way to El Dorado, and we were working on all those crazy songs, and doing gigs at the Yellow Moon Cafe in Cobden, and the Lake Creek General Store down in Lake Creek, and you know, eventually some gigs at PK's in Carbondale, and Boobies and Hangar, and all that. And I remember, I've said this numerous times, but I remember Alex saying, I just want to play music that doesn't seem stupid when I'm 50. Well, I think he's crossed that by a couple of years, and I am closing in less than a couple of years on that 50 mark. And Brian, he's I think he hit it this year, you know. And so I think a good amount of it holds up pretty well, you know. It's like we gave ourselves a little gift. Wrote most of that stuff between age 20 and 22, which is, you know, all the decisions I made then, and you think about the decisions you made 20 and 22, you know. But I think a good amount of it holds up. And we're going to play a bunch of that stuff on May 16th in Carbondale. And we've got the re-released vinyl, and it's been remastered, you know, and remixed, and super excited. It's been fun to revisit that whole deal listening to the stuff, and you know, I think we did ourselves a favor 25 plus years ago in putting that stuff together. So I hope you can enjoy that with us here. May 16th, Hangar 9 in Carbondale, Illinois. And the new remastered vinyl Trash Can Americana, our very first album. And I hope you've enjoyed listening to me jabber here a little bit. It's interesting. I guess I get a little more out of breath while I'm talking and printing. It takes a little pressure, you know. Gotta push the ink through the fabric, have the ink lay on top of the fabric, and make it be that opacity, you know, that makes a white ink work well on a black shirt and not just turn to gray, you know. And so I guess it puts me more out of breath than I realized. But I appreciate y'all, and I look forward to talking to y'all soon. Thanks so much. Have a great night.